arranged in neat rows.
"Galloping gaskets! They must have finished," said Teck.
But how would Molly and Katie know what to do next, he wondered.
"I know," said Teck. "I'll find Bill, the little buncher. He'll know what to do next."
And just in the field next door, Teck found the big red tractor and Bill working hard, making bunches of hay. Bill raked the hay into his mouth with his sharp teeth, gave it a shape, and then pushed out a bunch in a perfect rectangle. Teck looked in amazement at all the neat bunches.
"Bill's bunches! Katie and I will never be able to put the hay into bunches like that,"
sighed Teck sadly.
"We haven't got the right tools."
So he dragged himself back sadly. Across the farmyard, and back to the garden.
"What should we do now?"
asked Katie.
"Put the hay in neat bunches," said Teck. "But that's impossible because we don't have the right tool."
"Don't worry, Teck. Nothing is impossible," said Molly. "Katie, would you please take the cups back into the house and bring out some string?" Then, as Katie went to fetch the string, Molly rolled the hay into neat round balls. Once Katie returned, she tied the string around the balls of hay very tightly. "There, what do you think of that bunch?" asked Molly proudly.
"That's perfect, Molly."
Teck wriggled in delight. "Yes, it is," agreed Katie. How many bunches had Bill made by now? The whole field was dotted with bunches of hay, and Bill was still going. After all the work in the garden, and in the field, every bit of hay had been made into a neat bunch. And there was only one thing left to do: carry the bunches into the hay shed where they would be safe from rain and bad weather. While Katie and Molly prepared the bunches of hay, Teck went to get Tommy the trailer so that they could load the bunches onto him. In the hay shed, Roy was unloading the bunches Bill had made. He was building a huge haystack.
Where should we take our bunches of hay?
Asked Tommy the trailer.
To the hay shed, of course,
Said Teck.
Galloping gaskets.
Tommy the trailer asks some silly questions sometimes. Honestly. By supper time, there were 2 tidy haystacks at the family farm. Roy's big haystack and Teck and Katie's little one. There was plenty of hay for the animals to eat all winter long. It had been raining non-stop all through the night at the family farm. There were puddles of water everywhere. There were puddles in the road, in front of the house, and there was even an enormous puddle in the farmyard.
Good morning, everybody,
Shouted Teck.
Oh, what a big puddle!
He exclaimed, pulling back quickly. He had never seen a puddle this big in the farmyard. Did Colin the farmhand know about it? He wondered.
Colin, Colin,
Called Teck as he drove around and tooted his horn.
beep, beep.
Oh, good morning, Teck. What's the matter?
Well, there's a great big puddle of water in the farmyard,
Said Teck. Puddle of water? Asked Colin. I'd better change my boots then. And off he went to look for his rain boots. Oh dear. His boots were filled with water too. The roof was leaking and dripping right into them. My goodness, this is a big puddle, sighed Colin. In the house, Molly was sighing too. The water simply would not drain from the sink, even though she had pulled out the plug. That's odd, she said. It drained perfectly yesterday. What was the matter, she wondered. She went outside and examined the gutter to see if it was blocked with dirt and leaves, which would stop the water from draining. But the gutter was perfectly clean. Perhaps the pipe was blocked, thought Molly.
What happened, Colin?
Asked Teck.
Have you forgotten to pull the plug?
Tech, there's no plug in the farmyard, laughed Colin. The gutter must have closed up.
Galloping gaskets! The gutter is closed up?
Go and fetch Tommy the trailer, said Colin. And before Colin could say another word, Tech was on his way to the machine shed.
Come on, Tommy. There's a great big puddle of water in the farmyard,
said Tech.
A puddle of water in the farmyard? What can we do about that?
Asked Tommy.
You'll find out in a minute,
replied Tech, hooking up his friend and pulling him out of the shed. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rods to clean the drain. That should be enough, said Colin. Once they reached the puddle, Colin joined all the rods together until they made one long rod. Colin pushed the long rod down the drain and turned it.
What is he doing?
Asked Tommy the trailer.
Cleaning the drain,
said Tech. That's it, said Colin. The water should drain off easily now. But the water didn't go anywhere, and the great big puddle was still there. Colin looked at Tech, and Tech looked at Colin, and they both looked at the water. Oh dear, I better try once more then, said Colin. Although he pushed and turned and tugged, the water did not flow away.
Oh dear,
said Tech. Duck eggs and donuts, said Colin. The opening at the end of the drain must be blocked.
Here it is,
said Molly. She managed to find the plunger. This should work. She placed the plunger over the drain hole and pushed it up and down a few times until the dirt was sucked down the sink. Thank goodness for that, said Molly happily. Now I can finish washing the breakfast dishes. Here's the problem, said Colin. You see, the opening of the drain is blocked and the water from the farmyard can't flow away. Colin started to clear the opening. An old tire, leaves, and clumps of dirt and grass were covering it up. And once Colin finished cleaning the drain opening, the water flowed easily into the ditch.
Good job, Colin.
You know, we really should open the ditch all the way, said Colin. When the three returned to the farmyard, the puddle had disappeared. The water had drained down into the ditch. That got rid of the water, said Colin. Can you take the rods back to the tool shed for me, please? I've got to make a phone call. Just then, who came up the road but a great big strong backhoe, a beautiful orange one.
Oh, it's huge, said Tech excitedly. And just look at those big, strong arms.
After the driver turned off the engine and said hello to Colin, Tech and Tommy went over to chat with the backhoe.
Hello, I'm Tech. And I'm Tommy the trailer.
Hello, I'm a backhoe, but you can call me JC, said the machine proudly.
Oh, thanks. Thanks very much, JC,
said Tommy and Tech together. So, how can I help you? Asked JC. I am very busy, so I should get started.
Colin wants you to open the ditch in the field,
said Tech. Oh well, even if I say so myself, you won't find anyone better at opening up a ditch, boasted JC.
Can we help you?
Asked Tech. That won't be necessary, thank you. I never accept help from anyone. I can do everything myself, said JC proudly.
Oh, said Tech, who was disappointed.
Yes, I'm very fortunate to be a big, strong machine. Little weak machines are the kind that need help, said JC.
But we're not weak,
protested Tech.
No, we're not,
said Tommy.
We can do lots of things.
Sure you can, smiled JC. But I can do all kinds of things with my arms and buckets. Come to the field and I'll show you, he boasted. And at that, the driver climbed into JC's cab. This way, said Colin. Tech and Tommy the trailer followed them to the field. JC got to work right away.
Look, he's got feet of steel,
said Tommy excitedly. How useful it would be to have feet as well as wheels, thought Tech. But JC had only just begun showing off what he could do. Watch this, he shouted. He lifted a whole bucket of dirt and grass from the ditch and dumped it out on the field behind him. Hey, look at me now, he shouted. But at that very second, he just stopped. He couldn't move his arm. Hey, what's going on here? What's wrong with me? He asked. I can't move. What's the matter? Asked Colin. I don't know, said the driver. What do you mean you don't know? I can't move my wheels, my feet, or my arms, complained JC. Colin and the driver looked at JC confused. Oh dear. I don't know what's happened, said the driver. JC has run out of gas. Oh, Colin was annoyed.
Don't worry, said Tech. Tommy and I will fetch a can of gas for you now.
No, I don't want you to fetch gas for me. I can do that myself, said JC angrily.
Oh, no you can't, said Tech. You can't move at all without gas, remember?
But I don't want your help, little tractor. I don't need anyone, fumed JC.
Everyone needs someone to help them sometimes,
said Tech. And off he went across the field. After they put gas in his tank again, JC could lift the bucket in the air with his arms once again, and he went right back to work.
Hey, look at this. I can move again,
said JC happily.
Thank you, Tech and Tommy.
You're welcome, said Tech. Everyone needs help sometimes, you see?
You're right, Tech. Perfectly right.
And JC went on working until he'd finished the job.